Hi, so in today's video lesson, we're going to be simplifying algebraic expression, and the first one we're going to look at is 2a multiplied by 3a squared. So using the laws of indices, how do we do this? This is 2 multiplied by 3. This is 2 multiplied by 3, and that gives us 6. Then you have a multiplied by a squared, so that's a multiplied by a squared. So since both of them are of the same base, I can basically add up their powers together. So this is raised to the power of 1, and so that gives us 6a 1 plus 2, and that gives us 6a raised to the power of 3. Alright, so let's take another example. Let's say 2a multiplied by 3a all squared. Now I'm going to write this by saying 2a multiplied by this square is actually for both 3 and a. So I'm going to say this is 3 squared multiplied by a squared. Of course, that's 2a multiplied by 3 squared is actually 9, then multiplied by a squared. And that equals to 2 times 9 gives us 18. And then you have a multiplied by a squared. Now since both of them are of the same base, I'm going to say 18, and this is raised to the power of 1. That's going to be a 1. This, because of this multiplication, the index are going to add each other, plus 2, and that becomes 18a to the power of 3. So as you can see, this is actually different from this. So this is 3a squared, this is 3a all squared. Alright, so let's take another example. Let's see 25a squared to the power of 1 over 2. Okay, so this is actually 25, since this is bracket, so the raised to the power of half is for both 25 and a squared. So this is 25 raised to the power of half multiplied by a squared raised to the power of half. And from the root law, we could say that that's going to be square root, but I could decide not to write 2. Square root of 25 multiplied by, of course, from the power product rule, I can say 2 multiplied by 1 over 2. And that's going to be square root of 25 is 5 multiplied by a. 2 times half is actually 2 over 2, and that's 1, and so I have 5a. Okay, so let's take another one. Let's see 2x raised to the power of half multiplied by 3x to the power of minus 5 over 2. Okay, so let's simplify this using the laws of fractions, using the law of indices that we've learned. 2 times 3, those are the figures that are there. I have 6, then I have x to the power of half. Because this is multiplication, I'm going to basically add up the index together because of this x. Or better still, let me just do this multiplied by x to the power of minus 5 over 2. Okay, so I have 6 into x raised to the power of half. Because of this times, then that becomes plus, and the roots at the bases are the same. So I'm going to say that becomes minus 5 over 2. Okay, good. And so I have 6 into x plus times minus gives us minus, and that's half minus 5 over 2. And that becomes 6 into x into power half minus, what's the SCM? The SCM is 2, that's 1 minus 5, and that gives us 6 into x raised to the power of x, that's 1 minus 5 is minus 4 over 2. and that's 2 year 1, 2 year 2, and that becomes 6 into x raised to the power minus 2. Of course, from the laws of indices that we have learned, that can become 6 into 1 over x squared, and that becomes 6 times 1 over x squared, and that gives us 6 over x squared. Okay, good. So we could write this as this. So let's take one more example before we call it a day. All right, so how do I simplify this? First thing first, I'm going to take this root. Since it's a square root, I'm going to take it to the mean half. That's 75 a squared b raised to the power of minus 2 over 5 a raised to the power of 3 b raised to the power of minus 3, all raised to the power of half. I'm going to write that as that. Then 75 divided by 5 a 1, 5 a 15. And so we have 15 a squared b raised to the power minus 2 divided by a raised to the power 3 b raised to the power minus 3, all to the power of half. Now we're gonna have, since this is 15, this is 15 a squared divided by a raised to the power 3. That's, I'm gonna multiply that, then multiplied by b raised to the power of minus 2 divided by b raised to the power minus 3. I just splitted that, and then I have 15. From the laws of indices, we have a, since this is division, that's going to be 2 minus 3. Division becomes minus, then multiplied by b minus 2. Division, this division becomes minus, then minus 3. Then remember that we have this all raised to the power of half, right? Good. All right, so we're going to have all of this all raised to the power of half as well. Okay, so we have 15 multiplied by a to the power of minus 1 multiplied by b raised to the power minus 2 plus minus times minus is plus 3 all raised to the power of half. Okay, so we're gonna have 15 multiplied by 1 over a, that's minus 1 over, then times b minus 2 plus 3, or 3 minus 2 is 1, so I'm basically going to leave this like this, then all raised to the power of half. Then I'm going to have 15, then multiplied by 1 multiplied by b divided by a, all to the power of half. And then we would have 15 times 1, that's 15b divided by a, all to the power of half. And I can return the half back by saying that becomes square root of b, 15b over a. So this is the simplification for that. All right, so you can, in indices, just make sure you're applying all of the laws together.